All right, another day and another new low for Bitcoin. Let's break this down. I haven't seen anything on this chart, so I'm going to be doing some live analysis with you. It looks to me like Bitcoin could be looking to test the range lows right here around the low $30,000 range. And there are some very good reasons for why Bitcoin might want to do that. But before we get into all of that, let's first break down how we even got here. You see, Bitcoin was trading in this really, really nice falling wedge for a little bit of time. And we actually ended up getting the bullish breakout that I was looking for. But it didn't clear any of the highs that we needed it to clear. It ended up finding resistance almost immediately after getting that breakout. And if we put this in perspective just by looking at how far the breakout actually went from the breakout point to the high, we only managed to gain 2.67%. So we didn't even reach the 3% kind of breakout boundary where you would generally expect that if the market does break out by more than 3%, usually the rule is 1% or 3%. If it does break out by more than 3%, well then, you know that we're probably going to continue trading up, but we didn't manage to do that. And so this was definitely a fake out. And since then we've seen the price just drop down massively. Now, I think there's actually a very obvious reason for why this happened. And again, this all comes down to the dollar. So if you've been watching this YouTube channel for a while, just do me a favor right now and throw a massive fucking thumbs up on this video right here. Make sure you're subscribed and all that, because we have been watching this like a hawk on this YouTube channel. Guys, I took a 12-day break from YouTube, and the first video I made coming back was about this. And then the next video I made coming back was also about this, and the one after that. And clearly, this is what's weighing on the market right now. You see, what ended up happening just today, just hours ago, is that the Fed, let's see if I can pull up an article for this. The Fed raised the interest rates just now by 0.5 percentage point, the biggest hike since 2000. And if you're not familiar with how this stuff works, when you raise interest rates, you generally would do that. I mean, if you run governments the way the United States does, that's generally going to be done to combat inflation, which is obviously completely unsustainable and isn't going to work in the long run. But, when you have 4-year election terms, you don't necessarily have to think in the long term. So anyway, I don't want to get too political here, but the effect that that's having on the dollar, I think, is giving people a little bit more confidence, at least in this short term, for where the dollar might be going. Again, I just want to remind you guys that if this thing does actually continue rallying up, and so far it definitely is, it's lights out for Bitcoin, in my opinion. I can see this, if we just really do zoom out and look at where the dollar has been, you see the problem here is that if the dollar does get a breakout now, there isn't really any resistance like at all on this dollar index chart. So its only resistance is right here. We haven't, when you really zoom out, we haven't really cleared it. And keeping in mind, this chart right now is going back to the 70s. So, a lot of you guys probably weren't even born around then. A lot of you probably were. I'm guessing it's like 50-50. But, this is a big, kind of drawn out chart. And yeah, there's no limit if this thing does break up, but I just don't see that happening. The dollar just isn't that strong. One of the common ideas we've seen in the space is that every other currency is doing pretty badly right now as well. So comparatively, the dollar is doing better. That's what this index is showing us. It's just outperforming other currencies. But I don't see this being sustainable. These interest rate hikes, these are temporary measures. They don't actually work in the long run. It's just bad economics. But for the moment, the result is that, the dollar has seen a little bit of a, continued rise right here if we really do zoom in. And obviously that is hurting the market. Take a look at gold as well, sliding lower at the very same time. This market is also open right now. And so, just bringing this back to Bitcoin, to me, it's no surprise that we've seen this drop. And this is one of the key things I've been talking about on this YouTube channel. So again, just do me a favor and smash up those likes if you did find it useful, because we were very consciously aware of how if Bitcoin does actually end up, if the dollar does actually end up continuing to rise up, well then, we could be in a little bit of trouble for Bitcoin as well, just because, people are going to be, selling their Bitcoin, I think, if the dollar keeps rising up. I've been saying that for a very long time, and I've constantly been proven correct. I honestly do not know why people still try to fight me on that point, but whatever. And let's talk about where we could be going next for Bitcoin specifically. Well, the thing is, there's a lot of people long in this market right now. If we take a look at the Binance long and short ratio, which is obviously, one of the major exchanges, we've still got a majority of people opening long positions or staying in their long positions right now. Take a look at this. Let's wait for it to load up. Look at that. 53% long, 46% short. Binance, yeah, basically the same numbers. This is going to vary from exchange to exchange. Bitfinex is always super strange with this stuff, but Binance is the one I want to focus your attention on because it is one of the biggest. Bybit also one of the biggest, 55%, right? So the market is just polarized to the upside right now. The lower it drops, the more these positions are going to be washed out, and it looks like that's where the market wants to go. Like a few days ago, I wouldn't have said that I think this is going to happen, but if you manage to get a bullish breakout like this, and this is the reason I didn't talk about it, by the way, it's just didn't feel right. It tapped out at resistance a little bit too quickly, so I didn't really want to make a video about it because my reaction would have actually been excited. The thing is yeah, if you don't even manage to crack that 3% breakout and then you dump down, this is essentially like having a really, really good opportunity to do something massive and then you just completely throw it away. That's kind of what I think has happened right here. And so to me, yeah, one of the things that needed to be resolved is this, long and short ratio, which to me is really strange, by the way, because the fear and greed index is, and I'm just totally fine with telling you this. Like some of these things just don't make sense to me. I don't know about you guys. This is one of those things that just doesn't make sense to me because the fear and greed index has been so low for so long. Look at this shit. It's just constant, like basically a flat line over the past month. And pretty much over the past, with this exception right here, pretty much over the past 3 months as well. So to me, the sentiment's just pretty bad. But yeah, leverage traders, they've not had enough yet. So, this is, I think, one of the things that could be driving Bitcoin down. But let's not lie to ourselves. The main reason this thing is dropping is obviously because of what's going on in the real world with the dollar. And I just want to make that point very, very clear because a lot of people just totally ignore reality, thinking that Bitcoin operates in a bubble. No, it doesn't. Bitcoin is massively influenced by what happens with the rest of the economy and the rest of the world right now, whether you like it or not. And again, the facts are very obvious. To see a dump like this literally right after that news from the Fed, ladies, gents, that is not a coincidence. That's exactly what happens when a dollar, when a currency looks stronger. People take their money out of speculative assets. So let's talk about the TA a little bit now in terms of where this thing could be going. If we end up dropping lower, the thing is that I think it's going to be quite unthinkable for a lot of people to imagine Bitcoin dropping down to 30. But I've been saying for a while that as long as we hold 30, we haven't actually, entered really bad territory. It's bad right now. It's been bad for a few weeks for sure. It's actually been bad since the beginning of this year, but we haven't lost the 30K psychological area of support. It's held for a long time now. We haven't been below $30,000 since January of last year. So that's like 16 months or something, like a long time. And I think that's a very important fact to consider because if we do drop below 30,000, then we are fucked. Then we are looking at, probably an easy $10,000 drop because there's absolutely no trading that's taking place here, right? And if you are a technical analyst that has been watching my YouTube channel for a while, you're going to know very, very well by now because I talk about this stuff all the time. You guys know I like to keep my analysis very simple and straightforward, that this area right here, not finding any resistance on the way up means that we cannot expect any support on the way back down. So if we do lose the 30K level, I think we're in a lot of trouble. But precisely because it's such an important level, because of that, if we're not below it yet, I don't want to be scared about it. You know what I mean? Like I just think it's premature. It's premature worrying. I don't want to be too worried about that kind of stuff yet. I just don't think it's productive. I think there's stuff you can do before that. Let's just take a quick peek at the S&P 500. Like I said, this is live analysis. I haven't done anything today on the charts. So I'm just taking a look at this for the first time with you guys. And S&P 500 holding up relatively fine overall. If it loses this level, I think it is going to be lights out for Bitcoin too. But, that hasn't happened yet either. I think it probably would happen if the dollar kept rising. I think that's not far away. But what is far away, in my opinion, is that 30K level. We can drop by another 18%, 19%. That is carnage. 18, 19% drop is bloody brutal. and we'd still be above that support area, which to me, look, I'm not trying to peddle hopium or anything, but you know, when things get bad, it would be below that level is my point. And again, you know, we're still above it. Guys, I want you to pay attention to sentiment as well. You know, I pay attention to this a lot. I follow people on Twitter. I follow smart people. I follow stupid people. I want to know what they're thinking. And people are really bearish right now. Really bearish. Again, like in line with the sentiment, not in line with the long and short ratio. So some of these things, like I've said, just don't make sense. But, you know, overall, I am definitely seeing quite a lot of negative sentiment in the space. And so, you know, to wash out some of these longs, drop us lower, you know, the thing that's going to happen here, obviously, is that a lot of these longs that have their stop losses around these levels, their stop losses are going to be triggered, you know, and in order to close a long position, you need to open a selling position, which is a short position. And, you know, naturally, that's going to balance out these longs and shorts, right? So if you don't know by now, for whatever reason, going long means buying Bitcoin and going short means selling Bitcoin. It's just a slightly different way to do those two things. And if you don't know what that means, then I've put a video in the description. It's about how to trade. You can just type this into the search bar in YouTube right now as well, and you'll be able to find my video where I break down all of these concepts for a total beginner. Also, if you want to be able to trade these markets on the same exchange that I'm using, then you already know the deal. I'm doing everything that I trade. I'm trading everything I trade on Bybit. I was telling you that I'm interested in picking up some Bitcoin against the dollar, and my God, this is looking so attractive right now with Bitcoin at $37,000. I don't care if Bitcoin drops down to 30. I don't even care if Bitcoin drops down to 20. I think this is a phenomenal buying level, at least to buy a little bit. I'm doing that on Bybit, and when I start trading on leverage again, which is literally going to be as soon as I think it's safe, I'm already eyeing up 2 positions, one of them on Doge actually, and details of that will be shared into VIP shortly. That's also going to be happening on this exchange right here. So if you want to trade on the same exchange I'm using, and if you want some free cash, check out the link in the description down below, because with Bybit, when you sign up using my link in the description down below and then make your first deposit, you're going to be getting some extra cash for free deposited into your account as a thank you, and that is completely yours to take. All you have to do is check out that link, make your first deposit, and that's all yours. So let's head back to the charts here for just a second. Let's talk about where some of these indicators are now. I just want to briefly touch on this and see what's up right here. So we've got our EMAs. Let's take a look at this on the daily. That's offering us a little bit of resistance right now. That's not good. 4-hour time frame, nothing particularly important. The Ichimoku cloud was important, and unfortunately, that's actually exactly what rejected us. Look at how reliable this indicator is, guys. Look at that. That's so reliable. If you're not familiar with this indicator yet, again, punch this into the YouTube search bar and watch my video on it. It's a free video, and it's part of the 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Academy course. So if you want to learn everything about trading and analysis the way I do it from A to Z, then yeah, I've recorded courses on that. VIP members will get it for free depending on which plan they take. Most people get it for free. And if you want to jump inside, jumpstart your trading, really understand what's going on in the space right now in a very powerful way, in a way where you can just look at the charts and understand what's going on, then click on the first link in the description down below. That'll take you to my free Telegram channel where you get even more analysis from myself and my team around the clock. There you can click on the @4flies button and then send message to ask me how to join. These 3 quick clicks will take you less than 30 seconds. There's no downloads, there's no signups, nothing like that. So it's all very straightforward. And yeah, that is, I think, an indication of potentially resistance getting even bigger, even stronger. We did manage to form a bit of a support cloud, then a bit of a resistance, then a bit of a support cloud again. Daily time frame still flip-flopping, but weekly, we've got a lot of support right here, even on the weekly time frame. To me, what this is showing is that if we are able to hold this level for a while, this is going to be a very clear time-based correction. You know, we have 2 types of corrections. One is a price-based correction. That's where the price drops down and we correct like that. And the other is a time-based correction where the price just trades sideways. So the longer the price is able to trade sideways here, the more likely, according to the 𝗙𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗦𝗧𝗏, that, you know, our support is going to get even stronger, even more ferocious. And you know, that is also a quite bullish, that is also quite a bullish sign, which you know, I think could, yeah, definitely end up, you know, taking Bitcoin far higher if it, you know, if it obviously has the steam for it, and that's one of the things that could help. But for now, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. What I'm gonna do most likely is make another video on this, maybe later today or just tomorrow. I think this situation could develop pretty quickly right now, given how much volatility has come back in the space. The final note I probably want to leave you on is that this is very obvious. This is quite clear evidence of high frequency trading. You know, not normal. You know, I mean, this is not like, you know, the market being scared or you know, like a, you know, particularly, you know, well thought out long-term strategy. This is just bots and reacting to the Fed news, in my opinion. And so nothing majorly has changed because of that. And that's probably why you're still not hearing me be too fearful in the market or anything like that. The only thing that I am quite upset about is yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin had a chance to fucking turn this shit around, if Bitcoin had a chance, it doesn't anymore. That chance is gone now. So that sucks. But that's the card. Those are the cards we're dealt with, and that's what we're gonna have to do. The altcoin market looks far more interesting right now. So I'm going to be talking about that. Look at Phantom just sliding lower again. My God, it really is just... I know I shouldn't. But the amount of people that just threw all logical thinking out of the window for Phantom. This gives me some level of relief. Because, man, you got to learn somehow. And if this is what it takes, this is what it takes. Hopefully most of you guys were able to heed the warnings of Four Flies. This is the thing, like, I'll warn you guys about bad shit like this happening way before it happens, right? And I might have warned about it, like, up here. I think this is, like, there was another coin that I warned about it at a price level like that. I forgot which one it was. It was one of the other stupid coins that were trending and nobody knows about it anymore. And people got really... It might have been Matic, actually. People got really upset about my comments. And you know, and I was wrong for like a few weeks, you know, and then the massive crash happened. And it's like, well, shit, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to time this perfectly. I'm just trying to time it well enough. And that's what we hope for as traders. We're not trying to play the very bottom and play the very top. That's just not going to happen. But we are trying to play it to the best of our abilities to get the majority of the move. And that I think is very, very important. You got to be realistic as a trader. Most people aren't. Most people see it as a lottery ticket. That's what I'm trying to put forward with this YouTube channel. I'm showing you what real trading looks like. You take L's sometimes. That's totally fine. I've certainly taken my fair share of L's up until March this year, where I was able to turn it around beautifully. But you know, that happens. You got to learn from it, and you don't play things perfectly all the time, which is perfectly fine. Because you don't need to keep playing them perfectly. You just need to play them consistently. That is the job of a trader. Guys, punch it in a calculator. You know, if you hit a series of home runs versus if you just hit a few nice, consistent profits, and then consider what's easier to achieve and what's going to get you where you want to be in the long term. Because, you know, that long-term picture is going to come by anyway. Whether you take a long-term approach or not, time's going to keep moving forward faster and faster. That's how it always goes. That's why I always say, you know, learn what you're doing, do it properly, and grab these opportunities by the balls and crush it. Here we go. All inside of Four Flies VIP if you want to jump inside. One last time for Bybit. If you like free cash, check it out with the link in the description down below where you can make your first deposit and get some free money as a reward for it. Depending on where you are in the world, you will need a VPN, which is what I'm doing right now. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, you know what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. And I'm out. Bye-bye.